I think it depends on a number of factors. I think if the organised criminals are themselves representative of a community interest and they have some sort of political, social constituency backing behind them, which they are attempting to represent, then there is a possibility for negotiating because they are interested in defending the interests of that community. And that's what we've seen in El Salvador. The Maras, who have recently been negotiating through the Catholic Church over a reduction of violence, to a certain extent, still represent the interests of the communities they come from, which are poor and excluded communities. It's a rather different situation where organised crime is a purely business and economic activity which exploits the communities where it operates rather than represents any community interest. And this is what I think we're seeing in northern Mexico. I think in Mexico it's hard to imagine what it would involve in negotiating with these groups without them seeking to extract the maximum benefit. They are, and in addition to that, they are extremely violent operators with a history of very many murders behind them, so it raises a lot of problems about criminal justice. There are other cases which are perhaps intermediate, such as northern Mali, whereby there are no doubt that many of those groups involved in drug trafficking are part of the business structure and therefore the social structure of the country. But how representative they are is another question. Each case has to be dealt with on an individual basis, but in general you have to apply extreme caution because it's not as if you're able to give significant political concessions to criminal groups who are primarily interested in making profit and who would see negotiations, if they are purely criminal groups, as a strategic move towards expanding their business.